I'm so ready. It's only been, what, 3 hours?
Yeah, just a quick, easy setup.
All right, let's do this.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Question one.
Question 1. The best way to stay up to date and adapt to new technologies is to learn the principles, learn the things that are common to all languages and all frameworks, and then how those adapt to the framework or language that you're using right now. So things like dependency injection, higher order functions, all of these things that are kind of, maybe higher level programming concepts, but really apply anywhere that you're writing applications. I think the greatest value that I've ever had is focusing in on those things and knowing that I can take them to any framework, any language, and kind of hit the ground running once I learn the syntax that's specific to that specific tool. I think the most important strength for a developer is patience. So many times people have the right solution at the wrong time, or maybe they don't have enough information to make the right solution, but they will get that information in like 6 months' time or a year after doing a little bit more research and when they understand the code base and their customer better. So I think patience is really key in both cases, when you're ahead of the curve or behind the curve. Just being able to kind of set your goals and the outcomes aside and just continue to do the work. Be happy until those like light bulb moments go off when you have everything that you need at exactly the right time and can execute your vision perfectly. Remote 100% every time. I love being able to hang out with people, but I love the option to choose to hang out with people. I don't like being interrupted when I'm feeling good, and I like to be able to step away from a problem if I don't think that I'm able to bring myself 100% to it. So yeah, I think I get a lot more of that control over my own life when I am remote. So yeah, remote 100%. I'd say the biggest mistake that I've made in my career is not understanding the value structures in place and giving too much of myself in the wrong ways and at the wrong time. I really advise anyone who wants to progress in their career to like define the path up front, make sure that it's known what you need to deliver in order to actually get to that step. Because especially if you only have reviews once a year or whatnot, the feedback loop is so low and you think you're doing a really great job, and then you get to that meeting and you're like, so like, I'm good, right? I'm moving up. And they're like, oh no, you didn't like do any of these things that we actually like care about. So knowing what the company cares about is so critical, and I've wasted so much time like focusing on the wrong things. I think about it like a glass, right? Like it can only hold so much liquid, and if you keep pouring water into it, like what is the mechanism for capturing the rest of the water that gets spilled over? If there isn't one, just fill up the glass and like move on. Do your open source, your passion projects, your podcast, like whatever, but like don't keep pouring water in that same freaking glass. When did I find out that I wanted to be a developer? What drew me to the field? I decided to be a developer because I needed money, plain and simple. It wasn't passion, it wasn't excitement, it was just I needed money. We were coming out of a really bad economic time. I had been laid off. This was like 2010. I had just bought a house. We had our first kid, and I was on unemployment, and I was desperate. And I knew that no matter what, the tech field was, kind of hot, and no matter what, I could take like my Photoshop skills and get at least minimum wage or better just doing cut-ups of like PSDs to HTML. So I decided to go for it. I bought a bunch of books on like Ruby and Rails and Objective-C and like iPhone development, which was all super hot at the time. And it was just through a lot of that learning that I realized I love the web, and I love the interactions and the fact that it's always available to anybody. It's very democratized. And yeah, that was the moment that I kind of decided to be a web developer because it was the easiest way for me to get money.